If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I want to cover this song, Believer, by the Imagine Dragons, another one of these satanic groups which pushes out the same basic Illuminati symbols that we see all the time. It's important to show even bands like this, which do have a large following, and it's important for people to know that it's not just the mainstream people that are in pop, people like Beyonce and Lady Barfbag. This spreads throughout the music industry. It goes through all different styles of music, from country to heavy metal to pop to rap. It's all over the place. You see it more and more in the mainstream. But this is a pretty mainstream band. They have obviously a song in the past called Demons. I mean, I wonder what they were talking about in that song. But this one here is just filled with satanic Illuminati propaganda. And you could start with the lyrics. You could start by seeing in the beginning of the video, you see Ivan Drago from Rocky IV, who I guess needed a paycheck to jump in this music video, who is being pushed as in the video as somebody who is going to be going through transhumanism, because we see the transhumanism symbolism there. We see the DNA strands, blood dripping off his hand. At the end of the video, he eventually wins and knocks the other guy out. But listen to some of the stuff in the lyrics. By the grace of the fire and the flames, you're the face of the future, the blood in my veins. Oh, the blood in my veins. But they never did, ever lived, ebbing and flowing, inhibited, limited, till it broke up and it rained down. It rained down. Okay? So this is talking about the same similar themes we see all the time with transhumanism, as well as the transformation. Rihanna is constantly talking about the transformation that is coming, which is the acceptance of the Antichrist. And we'll see all the basic symbols that I always expose in this video. So let's start. We see Ivan Drago, like I said, or whatever the actor's real name is. To me, he's Ivan Drago. He'll always be the man that murdered Apollo Creed. You see this tattoo on the chest of both these men. Now, I know people are going to point to it and they're going to say, what is different meaning? It's some symbol for the band, or it means this, or it means that. It's the 33. And you'll see 33 all the time in logos and in symbols. You can see the WWE or the WWF, whatever you want to call it now. When you flip over the WW, you have the 33. Yes, I'm sure people will say it's E and E. It's 33. It's there for a reason. You see them opposing one another, the three facing opposite directions. That's because they're deliberately put there to reflect off of each other. This is part of the esoteric garbage that they believe in. The as above, so below esoteric nonsense. And if you watch some of my earlier videos exposing these symbols, exposing things like the Washington Monument, there's a reason that all of these gigantic monuments that they have reflect off of water. Because they always want to reflect this. To them, it's the as above, so below that the water is reflecting. You see it at the Oklahoma City bombings. You see it at the World Trade Center, the new memorial there with the water below it. You see it at the Washington Monument. You name it. They always will have these symbols that they put in plain sight reflecting off of water. It's not because they love water and everybody wants to go there and jump in the pool. Okay, it's deliberately there for a reason, not so people can go, oh, isn't that beautiful and pretty? It is part of their esoteric crap that they believe in, and it's also them marking what they've done and marking what is right in front of our faces, which is the satanic society that they've created. So we see the DNA, they show the strands of DNA and Drago, and they show, his skull and all this stuff, implying that he is now, they're messing and altering his DNA, which is a part of transhumanism, a part of this hybrid race that they think that they're going to create. You see the blood dripping off of his hand. We see the pyramid, of course. Wouldn't be a video without the pyramid. They aren't hiding that kind of stuff anymore. It's not even a big deal to throw the pyramid out. People still see it and they go, oh, Illuminati confirmed, Illuminati exposed. Well, you see the pyramid right there. And then, of course, they zoom in right on the eyeball, which is deliberately done. Okay, they didn't just go, hey, let's talk about the video. Let's zoom in on the eye at this point because it'd be really cool. They do it in all these videos. They zoom in on the eyeball, okay, the all-seeing eye, the eye of Horus. It's all there all the time. They don't hide it. And as they go inside the eyeball, what do we see? We see Ivan Drago now wearing black and white. So they're showing you inside the eye, they're showing you the black and white symbolism. They don't have to use the tiles all the time to show their esoteric black and white symbolism. Here you see it dressed on Drago's body with the white gloves and the black outfit. It is deliberately done. Somebody didn't just go, hey, wouldn't it be cool if Drago was wearing black with white gloves? I mean, if they really were trying to make the video something funny or interesting, they probably would have just had him dress up as Drago from Rocky IV and wear some type of Russian garb, okay? Especially with all the propaganda going on with Russia. It's deliberately done that he's wearing the black and white, that he's the one who is going through the transhumanism, that he's the one that wins and dominates this boxing fight, this fictional boxing fight that's taking place. And then he pretty much knocks the guy out of his shoes. They're showing this hybrid race. They're showing who's behind the hybrid race. They're showing you the pyramid. They're showing you the eye. They're showing you the colors. It's the same stuff we always see. Then we see the cube symbolism, which is never hidden anymore, but it's one of the more common symbols we see now. Saturn's cube, Rihanna, you name the artist, Drake, all have these random cubes in their videos, and people can't seem to figure out what they are. They think that they just love cubes. It's their favorite shape. That when they get home from their jobs, they just, on their wall, they just draw cubes all night, and they just have an obsession. Remember that these videos cost millions and millions of dollars to produce. There's a reason that the same symbols are in all these videos. There's a reason that there's nothing creative, that it's the same thing over and over. Because they have to show and reveal these symbols. It's not only an indoctrination for people, but it's also a way of desensitizing people for when they bring these out into the mainstream and people like me are pointing out the evil behind these symbols, and they're going to point it out and say that these are wonderful symbols and these are all symbols of joy and happiness, and people are going to go along with it because they've already been indoctrinated with it. There's going to be no element of surprise, because they've had it repetitively beaten into their skulls. So we see the cube symbolism, Saturn's cube. Then we see the singer here holding up the 666 sign multiple times. He holds it up, and then he proudly holds it up into the sky as he references praying above, holding up the 666. That must be a coincidence, right? That he's doing that he's holding that symbol up right there at that time. I mean, people don't even think about how these videos are choreographed. You think these guys are just running around randomly and they're just going action, and he's just going, all right, I guess I'll just do whatever I want with my hands, and I'll jump up and down and throw my fingers here and there. It's all playing out. What do you think what do you think goes on here? You know, if you were making a video for a college class or a high school class, you had a project, you had to do a video, every step of the way you would analyze it, and you would overanalyze it. People who make film and are involved in documentary film and music videos and all that stuff, they overanalyze every single frame, every shot, every second. You know, when they edit these things, they don't just throw it up on a wall. They sit there and they critique every clip and every shot. So you think that he just randomly throws up 666? All of these guys just love the A-OK sign. They all just happen to want the all-seeing eye and the pyramids in the video. None of them are going, hey, I've seen that before in Kanye West's video, or Drake's, or Rihanna's, or Beyonce. Maybe we should try something different. Or Eminem, you name the fraud. They're doing it. It's deliberately placed there. So we see him holding up the 666 sign. It's not a coincidence. Then, of course, we see a drummer here who has the upside-down pyramid on his shirt. As above, so below. We have the regular pyramid upward as well as downward. This is more of their disturbing Baphomet worship, as these people worship the goat with breasts and a penis that they can't get enough of, this transgender goat. And like I said earlier, this isn't the first time that Imagine Dragons have been involved in pushing Illuminati propaganda, showing these symbols. They have a song, Demons. Okay, these guys all are working together. The genres, it doesn't matter. I have people message me and they say, well, all right, I won't listen to pop or I won't listen to rap. It's all across the board. And for those of you that don't think country isn't contaminated with this stuff, I got news for you. They're the ones playing the role of, hey, we're Christian, we're from the South. We say church in our songs, and we say God in our songs. So trust in us and believe in us. They're going after a very gullible audience down there. And the style of the music and the sound, and talking about love and worship. People can't connect the dots of what worship they're talking about. Okay, it's an industry that is controlled by the Zionist, satanic elite. That's who controls it. These globalists who are Zionist elite, they are satanic at the core. So you're not slipping through the cracks and they're not going, oh, we'll leave country be. They have to attack from all different avenues, all different channels. That's why there's country and there's rap. There's the illusion of you're picking what you like. Oh, I don't like rap because it's angry or whatever. Or you don't like the sound. You like country because it sounds more calm. They're just giving you variety. It's the same thing. It's like I always say about going to the grocery store. It's the illusion that you're free and you're picking this stuff. You're either getting chemicals from box A or box B. You're going down the macaroni and cheese aisle, you're going to get the Kraft or the Stouffer's. What's the difference? A little bit of a taste? Same chemicals poisoning you. One's 50 cents cheaper. Wow. Freedom, freedom. It's the illusion of all this stuff. So they give you the illusion of music as far as genres go. And people go, oh, yeah, well, I picked to like this. I like to pick. They target certain areas in the country. That's why the South is big with country, because that's the quote-unquote Bible Belt region. That's why the sound is different. And they constantly use trigger words like church and God in their music. So guys like this who aren't even hiding it here, we have Imagine Dragons. They've been at it for a while, showing the same satanic symbols over and over. Just to recap, we see the 33. We see the transhumanism with the DNA and Drago becoming a hybrid almost, becoming unhuman as he destroys this other guy and he's dripping blood out of his hands after we see all the DNA strands, which is exactly what's part of their agenda. We see the pyramid, the zooming in on the eye multiple times, with Drago inside the eye wearing the black and white clothing. Okay, there's a reason that Drago's wearing the black and white, paying homage to the Freemasons. We see the 666 sign held up by the singer as he says prayer above and he points up to the sky with the 666. We see the Saturn's cube symbolism, which is all the time now in all these videos, and we see the upside down pyramid. So it's just the same crap we see over and over. All these videos for the most part are the same. If a band comes out with a song, or excuse me, they come out with an album, you can guarantee at least one of the music videos is going to have it in. Not every single one is going to have it, because how obvious can they make it? I mean, if Beyonce did it in every single video, maybe people actually might wake up, even though for the most part she does. But if she has 10 tracks on an album and 10 videos, all 10 aren't going to be like that. There's going to be like 3 or 4 where she's just standing there singing. And maybe there might be something you could point out on her clothing or in her eyes or something like that. But for the most part, they're not going to do it every time. But every album, somebody will come out with something that has all these symbols. I just dissected the Katy Perry video, the first video that came out, her new album. She'll probably have multiple ones that have this, but she'll have a few safe ones in between that just have her singing and singing calmly and people going, oh, she's wonderful. It's all part of the mind control. They know exactly what amount of a dose to give people out there so that they don't wake up to the symbols, so that they think that people like me are insane. And that's what they're going to continue to push. So this is Imagine Dragons, Believer. More Illuminati propaganda, more of the same symbols, more of the same crap. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.